So, today is February 1st, and it is day one of my Thinking in My Favor challenge, inspired by Amber Akilla. In December or November last year, I believe, she did a 30-day no hating challenge, and I absolutely loved it. I ate it up. And I thought it would be fun to do like kind of my own version of that, but I modified it a little bit into Thinking in My Favor challenge, where I'm gonna spend the next 3 days like making sure that I intentionally reframe my thoughts so that they work in my favor. And this is not to like say that like, oh, nothing bad or inconvenient or like nothing I can have like negative emotions towards can't happen, or I can't like feel those feelings. I will still absolutely feel all my feelings, but I will feel them knowing that all of them are working in my favor to teach me something and reveal some kind of lesson, or just, you know, have a experience, to have a different perspective on a experience maybe. So yeah, the way she did it, it was like, it was like no hating, or if you find yourself hating, you have to, I think it was like you have to like make something, or like write a rap, or it was something fun, something like that. So I don't have anything like that, because I figured like pretty much any thought I can reframe, so that's the goal. Oh, I did have one idea, which was like, if the thought persists, if it's like something uncomfortable or like sad or anger inducing, and I notice that it keeps persisting, I then will take it out in my journal. So this is a new journal. I'm really excited to use it because it's super cute. So, and now I have a reason to break into that journal, so I'm really excited about that. So, I woke up not too long ago. I meditated, did a cute little tapping session, and now I just want to like, oh, I forgot to set this up. Yeah, that works for now. So, well, I wish it was a little bit, here. Oh, that might be better. It's kind of a little bit too high, but at least you can like see me and hear me. Maybe I'll put on my tall slippers. But yeah, that's better. If I notice the thoughts keep persisting and they're kind of annoying me, we're gonna take it out in the journal. So, and then also, this is a brand new journal. I want to make some like affirmations, like some 10 affirmations to put on this first page, to like, that I can look at every single time I go in, to kind of like give me a boost. I'm figuring out this lighting situation. That's kind of better, but not really. I'm gonna figure these angles out. I think this. Now that I'm down, I need to be a little less tall. I really don't like having this light on, so I prefer to have it off. Oh, this one's even taller. I'm arranging you guys on various series of makeup palettes. Okay. We found the one. I don't know if that's light. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, now I'm gonna like continue to get ready for my day. It's really cold right now, so kind of didn't want to get out of bed, but I did, and I'm here, so I'm proud of myself. I was supposed to work today, but where I work is kind of outside, so we were closed today, which I'm relieved about. I will happily accept a day off, a free day off. So right now, just gonna do my skincare. Oh, maybe I should wipe my, because last night I did one of those Biodance masks that you keep on all night, and I absolutely loved how my skin looked when I took it off. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should like hack at my whole face, you know, wipe up all the goodness. So, but I like, right now I'm using these, Skin Food, these Skin Food toner pads, and I really like them. I like using toner pads in the morning because it's like a nice little, it's basically like, it's like washing my face without having to wash my face, because I don't wash my face in the morning. I use a toner pad, or I just go straight in with toner. Right now I'm using the First Aid Beauty Toner. I pretty much get all of my skincare from like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. They have a pretty good selection of especially K-Beauty, so I like seeing what they have in there. And I know the First Aid isn't K-Beauty, but I saw it was there and I was like, oh, let me try that. This toner is one of the things, toner is one of my like joys of skincare. Like I love trying all kinds of new toners, and I do like to layer my toner very many times. It does make a difference. I've noticed it makes a difference. Keeps me nice and hydrated throughout the day. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this challenge and seeing where I wind up by the end of it. I feel like these last few months especially, I have gotten a lot better at reframing. But I wanted to like do all like an intentional like practice of it. Like okay, for these 30 days I'm committed to this. So that's what we're doing. And every week, every Friday, I've decided we're gonna do like a check-in. One thing about the A Million Layers of Toner is that I do often forget what layer I'm on, and then I kind of just go and go and go. But I usually can tell where I'm at, just how my skin feels. So I like how we're feeling right now. So I'm gonna stay here. And right now I'm using this little sample, this Strivectin sample. It's interesting because it's like, it's vitamin C, it's their Super C retinol serum, and it's like it's really thin. And on the like packaging it says you only need like 2 or 3 drops, but I use a little bit more than that because that's like ridiculous. But then it's patted in. Don't forget your neck. And then I've been double moisturizing lately because it's cold and dry and cold and dry. So first I go in with the Dewy Tree. That was not a good angle, but I'm gonna tell you what it's called. The Dewy Tree Ultra Nourishing Snail Emulsion. I'm kind of obsessed with any product that is called an emulsion, or like, I think that's what they're called. Like the Hada Labo, any product like that, the Hada Labo moisturizer stuff. I'm pretty sure it's called an emulsion. Anything like the Hada Labo emulsion, I'm all in for. But this one is pretty much the texture of like, just like a regular moisturizer. And so probably if you had really oily skin, you could use it as just a moisturizer, like the only moisturizer. But my skin's like combo dry. Combo here, or combo here. Oily here. Oily here, and then I'm pretty dry, like on my cheeks and around like my mouth area. But that only really comes out in the winter. Like, for the most part, whatever moisturizer I'm using is sufficient enough to not for me not to even really notice my skin feels dry. So that's nice. And lastly, I'm going with CosRX Snail Cream. I like to draw a little Venus symbol into my moisturizer, and then I like to bless it with Venusian and Taurus energy, and then I rub my hands together and I say, I am money. My face is money. There, my second layer of moisturization. Then I'm gonna give it a little minute. Now I'm gonna change into whatever I'm gonna wear today. Today is the full moon in Leo, so it's actually a pretty jam-packed first day. So that's fun, because I don't think the rest of the week I'll be doing so much, because it's like back to work and the normal day-to-day grind or whatever. So what do I want to wear? I mean, it's cold, so I want to wear something warm. I think I'll wear this. This is cute, and it'll keep me warm. It'll keep me warm. Hold on. I'll let you guys can see it after I put it on. After I put this shit on. What bottoms? I wear my cheetahs. Love my cheetahs. Okay. BRB. So, those are my collages. And they've been up. They've been up since last year, so I want to make some new ones. Because I've just been I've been looking at them for a while now, so I've just been feeling a new vibe. So I'm gonna make, and I have exactly 3 more poster boards, so I'm gonna make more collages. And while I do that, I'm gonna listen to One Direction, because that's what my inner child would want. And I haven't listened to them in a while, and I know it would bring back a lot of fun feelings. So make collages, listen to One Direction. Oh, and I was also thinking maybe I'll even listen to Harry's new song, because I haven't listened to it yet. Because honestly, I haven't even listened to Harry's, like, I haven't listened to Harry's House at all. Because, before anybody shoots me, I really was not, like, as it was, like, just didn't make me, it was such a big song, I heard it everywhere, but it didn't, the sound of it really didn't make me look forward to the rest of the album. Like, it was just so generic. And generic isn't bad, but like, it was generic enough that it didn't make that I wasn't like, oh, what else is he gonna do with this album? So yeah, still to this day I have not listened to Harry's House in full. I've listened to like music for a sushi restaurant, and like I think that's it. But I thoroughly enjoy his first two albums. And honestly, I'm still on Meet Me in the Hallway. Like, after that song, I don't even think I don't need another song. I'm still listening to that one. So, that's kind of how I am with artists sometimes. Like, if you just make one really good song, I'm like, you're good with me for the rest of your career, honestly. As long like you have that one song and I'm still listening to it, that's all I need. So yeah, possibly we'll listen to the new song, and maybe the new song will make me look forward to what he's doing next. So mild Harry slander, but not really, because it was from a place of love. So yeah, collage making, and then I also want to do like a nice cleansing shower. So I want to make sure I clean my bathroom a little bit before that. So yeah, that's first things first, doing that. Cleaning the bathroom, and then I'm gonna chill a little bit. I'm gonna read. I've been reading. I'm reading, like, honestly, I'm reading like 3 different things right now. Because I was reading The Power of the Subconscious Mind on my iPad, and I'm still working my way through that. But that's like, it's an easy read. It's like, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, I've been reading that on my iPad. And then last night, I started Sacred Sex by Gabriella Herstick. I just call her Gabby. We're on first name basis. But I just started last night, and those are my page flags. And you know, I've already marked her up, and I've got a good ways to go, but I'm absolutely like, I'm locked in. Like, this is the one. So I'm gonna read more of this today. Really loving this. And I guess I'll keep you guys updated, because I'll be reading this the whole time. But I'm also reading, I have this collection of Sappho books. Is it Sappho or is it Sappho? I'm gonna look that up. I really don't know. But it's collection of like her like poems, but most of her poems are like, we don't have the full, they're like all fragmented. So it's literally like all, like, there are not very many, they're just like actual full poems. So, there's bigger ones. These are like notes. Okay, but yeah, this is mainly just poetry, so it's not like I'm reading it, but it's not like, I think poetry is good for the morning. Sometimes when I wake up, I like to just read some poetry. Or also, I'm not reading this yet, but I'm planning to get to it soon, probably after I finish Sacred Sex. I'm gonna dive into Anna Karenina. Actually, I don't even think I'm gonna do this next after Sacred Sex. Maybe, but I also really want to read the Iliad. I don't have the Iliad, so I need to get it. But I think I want to read that next, because I watched, there's this channel called Predictive History, and the professor on there, he is right now doing a course on the great books, and I started watching it, but then, first of all, the whole lecture series that he did on The Secret, is it called The Secret History? I think that's what it's called. The Secret History. Highly recommend watching that one. Very, very fascinating. It like covers like all kinds of things, like world history, human history, like politics, anthropology, spirituality, like everything, all wrapped up in one beautiful lecture. And it also like brings context to a lot of the things that are like going on geopolitically. So yeah, enjoy. That was riveting information, if I do say so myself. But okay, yes, watching that got me really interested in reading the Iliad and the Odyssey, because I knew they were important. Like we read pieces of them in school, but I never realized until watching his lecture that it's like birth of Western civilization, like type important. And I don't know, just like getting into like the deeper, like actually like realizing that it's one of the greatest stories ever written, according to a lot of people. So I want to actually take it in myself and see. I feel like it'll really like I don't know, expand me and make me, I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna have a good experience reading it. So I want to get into that, and then probably I'll crack into Anna Karenina. I've been into the idea of reading more classics lately, because I also learned that there's no like modern writing style, and I never knew that, or I just never thought of it that way, because I always assumed that, well, I don't even think this is an assumption, I think it's kind of true, that like the writing, like the romantic, while the writers of the romantic period were writing, they weren't like, oh, I'm writing for the romantic period. Like that kind of got categorized after the fact, where we like noticed that a lot of writers were writing in similar styles. So, but like by now there should have been some kind of distinct modern writing style, or you would expect so, but there really isn't. But I think that's more so because, I mean, now we have like the internet, and now writers have access to like every piece of writing known ever all at once. And so synthesizing all of that like influence into one product, I think is just going to take more time. So that's just made me, thinking about all of that has just made me more curious about literature in general, because I've always enjoyed reading my whole life, but I've never dug much into the classics, because I guess the classics always remind me of like reading for school, and you know, reading for school, no matter how much you love reading, usually reading for school is not fun. So I haven't really tried to get into many of them, but lately I've been wanting to get into like at least those. So I think that's a nice place to start for classics, and I'll kind of go on from there, because there's, oh my god, there's like unlimited classics pretty much. And I even have a couple that I just have them. I've like never even for a second considered actually picking them up and reading them until now. So that's fun. It's like I got those for like past me got those for future me to appreciate them now. So I think that's cool. So now that I've given the itinerary for the day, I am going to make my tea and probably just chill for a little bit until I go tackle my bathroom. So okay, so update on today. I am currently preparing my collage. I tore out a bunch of, hopefully you can see, tore out a bunch of pages in my magazines. And I only have magazines because my grandmother still gets magazines, and then she just gives them to me after she's done reading them. So That's how I get my magazines. I don't even have my own magazine subscriptions, but I wouldn't be opposed to getting them eventually, because some of them, as I've been looking through them, some of them are like from like 2020, and I didn't even realize I still had some that were from that many years ago. And because like it would say certain things and I'm like, what? But then I'm like, oh yeah, this is from 2020. And so it's like cool. It's so cool how like print media is a time capsule, and it's like just frozen in time, in the time that it was printed. And we have One Direction softly playing in the background. I turned it down. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems, because I don't think it's that loud. And if it does, that'll be a lesson learned. So I have my pictures ripped out, and how I kind of do it, I just go through the magazines and I rip out all the pictures that I like, and then I also rip out words and phrases that I like to use, and then sometimes like I'll just use like one word from a whole phrase. And I make sure to look to have pictures of varying sizes, of course, and also different like colored backgrounds and things, just to keep it more interesting and colorful. And I rip out all the pictures that I like, and then I go from there. Because all of them, I rip out more than can fit on the I usually rip out more than I need anyway. So, and that way I can like kind of usually I'll rip out and then I'll cut all the pictures, and then from there I decide which ones I want to go on the collage. So I'm kind of deciding if I want to just go through the pictures and like cut the ones that I really like, or just cut them all like I usually do. I think I'm probably gonna do that, so then I have all my options available to me. And I even have some left over from last time I made collages. And all of these, I actually didn't even cut up all of these. I just realized. So maybe I could use some of those, cut up more of those. The possibilities are endless. But yeah, that's my current update right now, making the collages, and I'll come back. I think I'm just gonna do one for today, because it's already getting kind of late and I want to like start winding down. But I did get to everything else. I cleaned my bathroom and I did my nails. So, and I didn't fully plan on doing my nails today, but I knew I needed my nails to be done. So did that, and now here I am. And then after this, I'm gonna do my shower and my spiritual shower. And I guess I'll come back and like update with like how I do that and what I include in it. Because normally, ideally I'd like to do a bath, but doing a bath is the whole thing, especially the way I like to do baths, because I like to do the herbs and everything and like let them soak for at least a day before I actually like do the bath, and I didn't do any of that. So yeah, BRB. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I think it's turning out pretty good. Thought I heard something. I think it's turning out pretty good so far. I haven't glued anything down yet, so this is just like, this is the plan. And usually once I actually start gluing things down, it changes a little bit, but it will end up being this general layout. So yeah, I think it's good. And I also was able to use some pictures that I already had, so that was good. And then this is what's left. So I went ahead and just cut everything out, because I figured that was the best method, just cutting everything out, and then I can like mix and match and figure out what looks best. So far this is collage 1. This is all I'm gonna do today. We'll come back to the other 2 sometime this week. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. Okay, so this is the final product now. I told you it would change a little bit. For the most part, it's the same, but it definitely changed. And I'm really happy with it. And I can't wait to see how the rest of them turn out. I'll do a panoramic type view so you can really take it in. Yeah. I don't really put like a lot of thought into the images I pick. Like in some ways I do, because I mean I just go with like what like pulls my eye, or if I like someone, like this image of Caluchis, for example. I was like, oh, that's Caluchis, and of course it's a beautiful image, so why not? And then Zendaya, well, first of all, this is a beautiful image, but also since I have Zendaya on this one, I was like, okay, let's like keep the tradition going and have another Zendaya Louis Vuitton ad. And then I thought this was beautiful, this headdress. It's from the Sioux tribe. And then this image, of course, gorgeous, striking. Yeah. And Slick Woods just giving everything. Grace Jones, Kate Moss. And I just enjoyed this guest ad, so. And this was giving Venusian energy, so. And then there we have Kate Moss and Naomi again. Yeah. I really like it. I really don't know why it's such a big deal, though. Okay, thinking my favorite challenge, day 2 update. It is currently, it's almost 11 o'clock. I just got home from work, so that's why it's so late. I meant to update earlier before I left, but clearly I did not do that. But anyway, today, I mean, it's just the second day, so nothing crazy happened. But usually I take like the train to work, but today my grandparents surprised me and they were able to give me a ride, so that was fun. That was good. That was nice. But there was like one little moment where, because I walk and it's cold outside, my grandmother was like concerned about whether or not, like if I'm like cold, like if I'm warm enough when I'm walking and stuff. And so she was, she was on Temu showing me a bunch of different hats. And at first I got a little like, I didn't show it to her, but I was a little bit irritated, or I started to feel a little bit irritated, like stop showing me these fucking hats. But I paused and I was like, okay, she's just trying to make sure I'm warm. Like she's just trying to, like, this is like out of love and care. So like I don't need to like, I could just, it was easy to like let it go and push it away, because I was like, she's just trying to make sure I'm warm. Like, how can I be mad? How can I even feel irritated? I mean, yes, I did feel irritated. That was real. But I was able to, just like be like, oh, whatever. So that was a fun and fresh little reframe. I keep forgetting to look at the camera. That was a fun and fresh little reframe I had today. And another thing I realized while I was at work, because sometimes, I think especially when it's cold, I'm a barista. I make like coffee and smoothie and sandwiches at where I work. So especially when it's cold, and where I work is like indoor, like it's like an indoor outdoor facility. So it's not like if it's cold outside, it's cold in there too. So on the days when it's cold, I find myself a little bit more irritated. Like when it's really cold, I find myself a little bit more irritated than usual. And I figured out that part of it is well, yes, the cold and just like being cranky about the cold, but also part of it is I think for a lot of my life, I've been like basically like giving customer service to people, or just like basically like putting on the performance of customer service, except just like in my everyday life. And I realized that like now at where I'm at in my life, doing the customer service performance is a lot harder. And in a lot of ways, I'm actually like really, I think that's a good thing, because it's showing me that like part of me like deep down is like over the is over like performing inauthentically, and that's a good thing. And so I basically was able to take like, I mean, like that irritation and kind of like find something in it. So that's the whole goal and purpose and theme of this whole thing. So I'm proud of that. And yeah, I'm just gonna get ready for bed and chill, I think, for the rest of the. I'm trying to like get better lighting, but I'm also. Oh, that's good. That's better. But now I'm facing the TV. Also, I put up my collage, as you can see. It looks really good. I just stuck it in the middle. And since I have the next 2 days off, I'll have plenty of time to make the other two, so that's fun. And then I also want to get a lot of writing done, especially on the book that I'm writing. My goal of 2026 is to finish this book. Like, everything else can go to shit as long as I finish this book. So, yeah. But also, it is winter time still, and the way that I work and conceptualize time, I don't really like go hard. I don't like really like do the whole New Year's resolution, like go hard in January type thing. Like I definitely have like all of the end of last year, I was thinking like November, December, I was thinking about my goals and like what I want to accomplish this year and everything. But I broke everything down. I can show that too. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. The way I break everything down by season, and then I'm like, okay, what do I want to accomplish by the end of this season? And winter, I keep things light. I keep things easy in winter. So I don't really have a lot like planned for the winter. Actually, this wasn't even like doing this challenge. It kind of just like, I guess is kind of like my main winter goal, doing this challenge and like making the videos for it. But other than that, mainly like spring and summer is, when it's warm outside. That's when I like to like get it popping, really. So if you have trouble like getting things going in January, I would suggest thinking of your life in terms of the seasons and optimizing that way, instead of, you don't have to do Gregorian time. Like, yes, we have to operate under Gregorian time, but you don't have to like arrange your life and think of your entire life in terms of the Gregorian calendar, because really it doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't make any sense for the year to start in the middle of the winter, like not even at the beginning of winter, like a random ass time in the winter, and we're starting over. Why? Doesn't make any sense. So I consider that's the fun part about like just like making your own time. Like, there's Gregorian New Year, which I still have fun and celebrate. And then there's Lunar New Year, which is also fun. And another time for you to like start anew if you would like. And especially this lunar year, this Lunar New Year this year is on a solar eclipse, the solar eclipse in Aquarius. So I'm an Aquarius moon and Aquarius rising. So I'm quite looking forward to that. But yeah, so there's this Lunar New Year, and then also spring. Spring is another new year in my book. So there you go. There's 3 new beginnings, and you can do whatever you want with those new beginnings. So yeah, day 2, we're going pretty well. We're reframing, we're thriving, and yeah. Thinking of my favorite challenge, day 3 update. Right now, I'm just reading and chillaxing. Not much planned for today. I just kind of want to chill and enjoy my day off. Other than after I'm gonna read a little bit more, and then I'm gonna do some writing, and then I want to take pictures of some stuff that I want to put up on like Mercari or something, or Poshmark, one of those. I haven't decided. Probably Mercari, because that's where I usually go. To put some stuff on there for resale, because I've been like collecting things for a little while now, and now that I have like a solid, like, I don't know, I've just been meaning to take pictures of stuff that I want to get rid of and put it up on there for a minute now, so I'm gonna do that. And that's pretty much it. I haven't had any major like emotional spirals yet. That doesn't mean they're not coming, rest assured. But you know, it's only day 3. So I just watched this really great video. I was gonna say good, but it wasn't just good, it was great. And I'll link it. It was about how, like, this guy, he was talking about how and it seems to be the theme of his whole channel, so I'm looking forward to like getting into the rest of his videos. But how he basically stopped, like, he stopped scrolling and instead leaned more into writing, like just creative writing, and he specializes in like short stories. And I thought that was really like cool, like, cause I've been writing since I was like, when did I start writing? Like, writing for fun. I'm trying to remember like exactly how old I was. For sure I was in middle school. I think, yes, I'm like 99% sure I started probably even maybe 7th grade, I think. 7th grade, I think that's when it had to have been before that. Let me really think about this. It could have been 6th grade too. It might have been 6th grade, actually. It might have been 6th grade. I mean, that difference is kind of like not that, whatever. Middle school. That's when I started writing. I was writing fanfic, of course. One Direction fanfic is where I started. And then eventually I moved into 5 Seconds of Summer fanfiction. And that's where most of my fanfiction career was, in that wheelhouse. But then eventually I was like, well, why don't I just like start turning these into actual stories, and like fleshing them out properly, especially the ones that like I was already writing as a series. And then even there was a point where like I wasn't really even into 5 Seconds of Summer as much, but I still was like writing my stories. Well, that, like, I still would write my stories and I just wouldn't post them anymore, but I would still add to them because it was fun. It's fun for me, especially smut. I love writing smut. It's like one of my favorite things ever. So, yeah, that's how I kind of put together the idea for my book. I was just like, okay, I've been working on this story for a while, and I like these characters, and I know I can like take them somewhere and really flesh out a narrative, and also like do something a little bit interesting and that I haven't really seen before, and especially in like a romance. So yeah, that's how I arrived. That's how I decided to like write an actual book. And then, so that's my like creative writing. But I also really enjoy, I mean, the other videos on my channel are more of my like essay type things. But when I write them, I don't really go into it like I'm writing an essay. It just kind of turns out that way because it's like a combination of like, since it ends up being a combination of like both personal stories but also like things that I've learned or just like insights that I'm having, either like spiritually or like philosophically or just observations I've had. I just kind of like put it all together, and I do want to refine my process, especially for that kind of writing. Well, I want to refine my writing process in general and really make it a more disciplined devotional practice, rather than like now I kind of just write when I feel like it, or I write, it's very random. It's not like there's really no order to how I like engage with my creative process. And I think that's been something that I've been thinking about a lot for especially like the last year and a half, like really locking down on my creative rituals and actually like ritualizing the process, and so that I can like create an actual like container for when I'm creating, and not just, I mean, of course it's fine to just like write when you feel, or just create when you feel inspired, but also, since I know that it's possible to add some structure to it and it still be able to like flow well and create good, it's better for me and my process, or it's better for, I think, for my creative process in general, to just add a little bit more structure to it. I feel like that can only improve and add to my process. I don't think it would take anything away from it, especially since it's creativity. Like there's always the potential for things to get too regimented and it like lose the fun, but I know that if I'm getting to that point, then I need to reevaluate and connect back with like the flow of it. So as long as I'm keeping both of those things in mind, I feel like it will be very beneficial. And I got this book. I started it, but I need to finish it, and I would show it to you, but it's in my stack of books, so I'd have to take down my whole stack and then find it. And eventually I will do that. I'm not doing that right now. But it's maybe I can find a picture of it and like insert it. But the whole book is about or giving suggestions and ideas on how to develop a creative ritual, and seeing it as like a very like magical thing, which I love. I'm all about that. So I feel like finishing that book will help a lot. I have a lot of books that I'm trying to finish, as you can see. So that's where I'm at with my writing and my creativity. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more reading and then some writing, and then I'll check in later at some point. Okay, so I'm back. I've been writing for like the past 3 hours, or should I say I've been sat down to write, because I have not been writing this whole time. But I think that's just how it goes, kind of. And that's what I'm learning to accept in this process. Like, no matter how long I sit down to write, that doesn't mean, like, it's okay that, like, I'm not literally, like, in flow the whole time. Like, that's not a realistic expectation to have with writing. So, but I'm pleased with what I have so far. So, yeah, I was able to work on my book a little bit more. So, any progress on that is good in my book. So, yeah. Consider it a successful day of writing, even though there was not much writing done, really. I got I do all my writing in my notes app, and I put it like full screen on my laptop, and so I was able to fill up like a whole like full screen section. So in the way that I write, I don't really like, I very much like think as I go. Like, that's kind of like it's kind of a little bit of an issue. Like, I want to get better at just like getting a draft out straightforward, just getting the idea out. But I tend to kind of edit as I go, and that definitely slows down my process. But for me, it does make it so that I am a bit more pleased with the product at the end. But I'm also realizing that if I focus on just getting the idea out and just getting the draft done and just getting through it, then I can, when I look back on it, then I'm able to like approach it with a fresher, clearer mind. And so that will probably bring even more better ideas than me just trying to get it perfect, or as perfect as I try the first time. Because the way I work, okay, I honestly don't really do like a full first draft and then go through it and then like change a bunch of stuff, and then I usually don't do that because of the way that I work. I usually am pretty pleased with my first draft. So, and like I may take things out, or usually I find myself taking things out more than adding things. But that's probably more so in my book writing, or in my story, more like narrative type of writing, rather than my like essay type writing. In my essay type writing, I definitely like flip things around and change things and move things around a lot more than I do when I'm like writing a story. So it's fun just to like have a clear view of what my process currently is, and then also seeing the ways in which I can improve it or change things or switch things up. So I consider today a success. I think I already said that, but I'll say it again. And I also kind of feel like my brain is a little bit fried from sitting here and writing for so long, even though I didn't really even write that much. But I think just like trying to think of things for hours, it takes energy. So, and I haven't eaten today yet, so I'm gonna eat, and I don't think the pictures of the clothes are gonna get taken care of today, but that's okay. I'll do it tomorrow. And it was more important to me that I wrote, and I can't because originally I was like, oh, I'll plan to at least write for 30 minutes, but I didn't even really get into a full flow until probably an hour in. So just kind of letting this process be the process and surrendering to it, and not trying to make it look any particular way, because it doesn't have to be. It's creativity. It's supposed to be fun. So, yeah. That is how I'm thinking in my favor for my creativity.
Shit, John, shit.
So,
Closer. 1 hour.
Yeah, man,
thinking in my
Louisville Slugger, the brand name baseball bat, manufactured by
favorite
Hillrich
challenge.
Because that's what I call Hillary Clinton. Hillrich. He's hella rich.
Thinking in my challenge. Thinking in my favor. Day 4 challenge. Hold on. Thinking in my favor challenge. Day 4 update. I kind of got carried away with the day, but I did take pictures of all the stuff that I wanted to put up for resale and put that up. So that was most of my day. And I also did some writing this morning, so that was fun. So yeah, pretty chill day since I was off, but I have to work tomorrow and I have to get up pretty early for that, so that's why I'm all like showered and ready for bed and everything. I'm about to do my facial massage that I do every night. And then I remember that I haven't updated today. So I was like, oh my god, I need to update today. But all I did was, I spent most of my day just taking pictures of clothes and then editing the pictures and then putting up the listings, and so not much. Yeah. Quick little day 4 update. We're going strong. I'm watching Hive Mind. They make me giggle. I did not get to making the collages though, but I'm okay with that because I spent more time writing, and I'm glad that, if anything, I was spending my time doing that. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm currently at work freezing my butt off, and I'm testing this to see how the audio sounds with my AirPod in. Okay, that's it. Hello. Day 5? Yes. Day 5 update. Thinking of my favorite challenge. Kind of dropped the ball a little bit yesterday. I was at work. Meant to film before, didn't. Also, I walk there and back. Like, I take the train and then I walk. And yesterday I ended up getting a ride, so I didn't have my walk, and I planned on filming or doing something while I was walking, and so that didn't happen. So, but I did get something, so I'll insert it. I mean, I filmed something yesterday. It just wasn't a proper check-in though. So, day 5, it's Venus Day. Love Venus Day. Look forward to it every week, just like most people. But it's a little bit, because it's Venus Day, it hits a little bit different for me. But I made because since it's Friday, and I'm gonna post this today, I wanted to make like a wrap up type thing, or like summarizing. Okay, turn that down a little more just in case. I made a little note of like the highlights, or just like I just made notes of things that I wanted to express, or like what I've gathered so far from this experiment, from embarking on this journey of thinking in my favor and consciously reframing. So, first point I want to emphasize is that I'm not doing this in like a you can't have negative thoughts, you can never be sad, you can never be angry, you have to be like high vibration all the time. No, fuck all that. I 100% believe in experiencing and feeling the full range of your human emotions. I think that's like one of the reasons why we come here, to feel the feelings, even if it's even the uncomfortable ones too, especially the uncomfortable ones, I would say. So it's not about me trying to get to a place where I don't feel angry or sad or irritated or whatever anymore. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I know that my attention is very valuable, and I want to consciously, well, yeah, that's how I would put it. I want to be more conscious in just how I use my attention. Because especially when you know that the things that you focus on are the things that become more present in your reality, I want to just make it a practice of getting better at focusing on the things that I prefer versus the things that I do not prefer. So, yeah. And then if anything that I don't prefer is happening, then I have practice with knowing how to shift out of pretty much anything. So, yeah. Yeah, because we spend time and we pay attention. So I want to make sure that my attention, that is very valuable. Your attention is very valuable too. Thank you for giving it to me in this moment right now. Thank you. But I want to make sure I'm doing everything in my power to use my attention towards things that, one, either give me pleasure or expand me. And expansion, I especially think is important because it also leaves open the room for the growth of discomfort. Because I know when I say pleasure, like probably in a lot of people's minds that thinks like in a very like surface level, like hedonistic kind of way. And there's definitely like an aspect of that to it, but also there's a pleasure. An underrated part of hedonism is the pleasure of delayed gratification. That's also a thing that the hedonists discussed. The pleasure of, yes, the pleasure of like instantly getting what you want, but also the pleasure in delaying and getting it later. That's also a type of pleasure. So pleasure in all ways, and especially the kind of pleasure that leads to more growth. Next, no. Okay, yeah. So this first week mainly just consisted of like the regular minor inconveniences of life. There was nothing major in my life that would be like actually difficult to reframe, where like nothing has happened yet where I'm like, oh, I'm struggling with this one. Like, this kind of just sucks. I don't know any other way to put it. But that kind of brings me to my next point. So I'm like, this week was chill. So like, that was nice to just be able to just ease into the challenge without life slapping me in the face yet. But I was about to say something. Oh, okay, I'll get to that. I'll get to that point in a second. Okay. I'm gonna also start keeping track of my reframes, even the little ones, just so I can like have a better record of how the challenge is going, I guess, and so I can share them, and so we can all reframe together, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'll start keeping better track of my reframes so I can share them. So that'll be a practice from now on. And also, I want to talk about the subliminal that I'm using. I mean, I've been listening to subliminals for probably like 2 years now, or at least like a year and a half. But only in I always would listen to them at night, and then sometimes I would listen to them when I'm reading. But only in the last 3 months have I started listening to them during the day while I'm doing other stuff, like if I'm just sitting at home, like watching YouTube. Like now I have my AirPod in and I'm listening to subliminals almost pretty much all day. Like if I can listen to my subliminals, I'm listening to them no matter what I'm doing. And it's made a huge difference. Like it's definitely, I feel like they're just like working faster. Like they're just hitting better. So, and I will link the one that I've been using. I love High Frequency Guru. I love I Want It, I Got It. I love Violet Hayes. I love the one that but the one that I'm using now is from Beijing Cafe, and this is actually the first time I'm using one of their subs. But it was like it's literally called Ascension, and it's like literally everything you could ever imagine in a subliminal, all baked into one subliminal. So it's pretty epic. I'm 99% sure that's even though I've seen plenty of like Dream Life all in one type subliminals. That subliminal, the Beijing Cafe subliminal is probably by far the most all-encompassing one that I've ever seen. Like, she covers, I don't know their pronouns. They cover everything. So, but it only dropped like 9 days ago, exactly. So, and I've been listening to that one ever since. Like, that's the only one, because that's, okay, little note on me and subliminals, I'll admit that this is probably why it's only taken like now for them to work. Or, I mean, not that they're not working. Or, okay, I think this is why it's taken me so long to like notice, like have like a more, or notice a difference so fast. I think one of the reasons why only more recently have I been feeling like super rapid results with subliminals is because usually I tend to like the subliminal makers are just so good, and they make so many good ones, and I'll find one and I'll like be on it for a little while, but then somebody will make another one that's like, oh, this one's really good too, and then I'll be on that one. And so then I definitely have a hard time just sticking to one or even just a couple. And especially like High Frequency Guru, like almost all of her subliminals are like an hour to 8 hours long. Like, she makes them long so you can like listen to them during sleep, which I really appreciate. But Sama subs too. I listened to I had a nice stint with Sama subs for a while. What was I saying? Oh, yes. It's taken me a minute to actually find subliminals that I really like and I just want to stick with. And that was I Want It, I Got It. For when I started listening to them consistently, like even during the day, I was listening to strictly I Want It, I Got It subliminals, and those have been the best, most rapid result subliminals I've ever used. So, yeah. But yeah, okay. This is why we're talking about subliminals. I've decided that during the duration of this challenge, especially because initially when the Ascension subliminal came out, the Super subliminal came out, I was like, oh, I'll just listen to this for a week and then I'll go back to, and I'll see like how that feels, and then I'll go back to like my usual rotation. And then I was like, well, maybe I should just like stick with it for the rest of the month, or for the rest of the challenge at least. Like, why not? Then we'll really know. And you guys will get to be on the journey with me, because that's what this is all about, the journey. Anyway, so yes, I wanted to share the fact that I am listening, especially when I'm at work. When I'm at work the whole time, subliminal, the whole time. Okay, next note. I think I'll just read this one how I wrote it, because, yeah. Okay, I wrote, I genuinely believe that everything works in my favor, and this doesn't mean that I never lose my fucking mind. I lose my mind as much as necessary because I know I can find gold in every situation, and thus far, there hasn't been a single moment where I haven't looked back and appreciated what that situation taught me. Everything is data. It makes me feel freer to crash out because I trust that I feel some type of way for a reason. Let the feelings process before you try to dig for the lesson. Okay, that was my main point with this, especially with how earlier I was talking about how like it's not about denying yourself anything. One thing I have learned, especially last year, I will not deny myself anything. Especially like my own humanness. Like, I'm not, because one thing that I tend to do is that, especially if I feel like a situation is like small, I'm like, oh, like, why are you having this? Why are you like feeling this way? This is such a small, like, minor inconvenience. Like, just let it go. But those tend to be the things where I try to force myself to not feel how I actually feel tend to be the things that linger. So it's like, why not just feel the feeling? And then, because that's all it wants to do. It just wants you to sit with it so it can move on. And yeah, when you're, as far as it goes with like finding lessons, and especially the bad things that happen to you, I definitely wouldn't recommend, like, when you're in the rough mental space where you're not feeling good, you're sad, you're angry, you're whatever you're feeling, just let it be that. Just let it suck. That's okay. Just let it suck. Don't try to like think yourself out of it, or definitely don't try to find a lesson right then. Definitely don't try to find a lesson in the peak of the emotion, because you're just probably not going to be able to find it. Like, you're too in the middle of the storm to see clearly, really. So don't worry about finding anything when it's happening. Just let it happen. Just let yourself feel whatever you need to feel, whatever feels true, whatever feels real. Let it out. Just let it out. Only after some time has passed and you have come down from your initial emotions about the situation, then maybe, and then depending on how severe it is, I would say probably even more time after that. Like, you probably just need, if it's like a really heinous situation, like, you definitely just need some time like this, where you're just sitting in the fact that you're not immediately sad or angry or whatever about what happened. And then at that point, then you can look back and try to find a lesson. You'll find one. So, or at least, one thing that I like to say and remind myself is that sometimes not learning the lesson is the lesson. So, even if it's as simple as, I'm not going to do that again, that's data, and that's something you can use. So, yes, when it's fresh, you're meant to be present with it. Don't try to, you don't need to, like, yogi, or like, you don't need to, like, you just feel it. You don't need to push it away or worry about, like, if it's gonna, like, push you back, hold you back in getting where you need to go, or if it's like, even if you're falling into a pattern that you know that you shouldn't be in, but you can't, you're just caught in the loop. Like, even the fact, even if even just recognizing that you're caught in a loop is huge. It's major, because every other time you were in that loop up until that moment where you realized you were in a loop, you were just in it and you didn't even realize you were looping. Like, you were just being dragged around by life. So even if you have literally the exact same reaction, but if you can step back and say, oh, I keep doing this. Why do I keep doing this? Or just noticing that, like, oh, this is a pattern of mine. Like, that's important. That's good. And you can pat yourself on the back for that one too. So, last point. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because for a long time in my life, I feel like I've been afraid of the infinite potential of me and what I can do with my life. And I wasn't conscious of this. Like, I wasn't like thinking in my mind, like, I'm afraid of success, essentially. And even like saying it like that sounds kind of silly. Like, why would anybody be afraid of getting what they wanted? But you'd be surprised how many of us are actually, I just mean like people in general, are actually afraid of having what they want. And that's the source of the self-sabotage. Not even a fear of failure, a fear of getting what you wanted and then worrying that you're not going to be able to handle it, or that it's going to fall away soon, or that it's going to change you in some way where you don't recognize yourself. I just couldn't, that's what I get for trying to balance. I couldn't go on any longer just being afraid anymore. And especially once I became aware of the fact that I wasn't even afraid of failing, I was afraid of succeeding. Like, I just couldn't, I couldn't sit like that anymore and not, I couldn't keep abandoning myself and making myself smaller just to stay in the comfort of who I've always been or who the people around me know me to be. I just knew something had to change. And so one huge shift for me was shifting from the idea of, I knew I needed to like develop better habits and be more consistent and be more just serious in general about my goals. And I knew I needed discipline. And one thing that really helped was shifting from seeing it as getting disciplined to just being more devoted to myself. As soon as I started seeing it like that was the one thing that really helped me, the mindset shift that really helped me actually be able to make the changes and push in the direction where I'm like, okay, like I see, like I'm shifting, like I feel it, I see it, I'm moving differently, I'm being different. So, and ultimately I realized that devoting to myself is obviously the best thing I can do for me and making sure that I get where I want to be and I like how my life looks. But also it's the best thing I can do for my loved ones or any future people that I bring into my life that are close to me, because then I guarantee that I'm always showing up authentically and I'm not just performing all the time and performing who I think I should be and not just being me. So once I realized that like not only is this the best thing I can do for me, this is also gonna like improve my relationships with the people around me, because then I feel comfortable, and yeah, I feel comfortable showing up as myself and knowing that even if whoever I'm with or whoever doesn't like that, that's not really like I don't care, because I'm rooted in my own being. And that's kind of one of my biggest goals in life, just to be so rooted in my own being that like shit like that doesn't matter to me at all. It doesn't move me. It doesn't even like, I blink at it. One affirmation that I like is, I am unbothered by what does not serve me. I like that one. So yeah, those are all my notes so far, and my phone is about to die, so I'm gonna, but I think I don't know. But we did it, a whole week, thinking in my favor, reframing. There was nothing that I needed to even go to the journal for, so go me, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that was a solid note to end on, just like my lessons of the week. But I went to TJ Maxx, so I could do a haul, but I don't think I'm going to. I really like this slip. You know what I really want invented, and I don't know how could ever be possible, but I feel like it's got to be possible. I want a lip gloss stain. I know they have glossy tints now and glossy stains, but the like point is that like, even though it's glossy, but it's a stain. So like once the gloss goes away, you're left with the stain. I want something that stays glossy all day somehow. It's somehow like top coat for your lips. That's what I want. Cause I'm a plumping gloss girl. I pretty much exclusively wear plumping glosses. Or if I'm wearing a non-pumping gloss, then I will definitely be putting a plumping gloss on top. So I like, and I'm not really, like, I haven't, ever since Matt, actually, okay, I'm saying I'm starting a lot of sentences and not finishing them. I'm really just not, like, a matte girly. Like, when I have a couple of matte lipsticks, but it's kind of like just to have them just in case an occasion arises. But I haven't been drawn to matte anything in a long time. Like, I've never really been into matte skin. No matter what's going on out there, I will be glowing. No matter what, I will be beaming to the heavens. I realized the other day that I just like to look wet. I like my lips to look wet, and I like my face to look wet, and I like my body to look wet. And I guess I never really, like, put together that, like, that's like the look that gloss is trying to evoke. Like, obviously it's shiny, but also connecting it to, like, it's wet, you know? Because, like, there's plenty of things that are shiny that aren't wet. But it's, like, not just shiny. It's, like, I want it to look wet. I want it to look like you push my cheek and, like, ooze comes out, but, like, good ooze. Like, I don't know. But I just want to, I don't know if I'm going to keep this in, but I want to take a moment to tell myself that I'm proud of myself for doing this. And even though I didn't film a full clip like yesterday, still, I've kept up with this all week, filming, updating every day. And I kind of decided to do this on a whim. So I'm really proud of myself for doing it and keeping it up. And now I have a whole video to make. And we'll keep it coming. Do I have anything else? Okay, I think that's it. And I'm hungry. Hello. Thinking of my favorite challenge, day 6. I decided to I guess I forgot that there's 7 days in a week. And I figured it was better to just include Saturday instead, because my original plan was to post on Friday, and I guess I didn't really have any plans or considerations for, I know I could wait until like next week, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm just gonna include, I think I'm just gonna upload on Saturdays so I can include the full week and then start the next week on Sunday. So that's what I decided, and that's why I'm here looking extra shiny, because I just did my skincare. And I got a new toner, I got the Axis Y Dark Spot Correcting Dark Spot Correcting Glowy Toner. I just got this yesterday, and yeah, it lives up to its name for sure. And it's one of those like double face ones where you have to shake it, but it comes in a spray. Like, its normal application method is spray, and I like to put my toner in my hands and slap it on. So I transferred some of it to this empty Centella Skin 104 Centella bottle that I had, and so I'm just gonna use it. That because like today I just zipped the dropper in there and I put that in my hands, and I liked that better. And also it's so like moisturizing and glowy and hydrating that I only really need like 2 layers of it. Like I could layer it 7 times, but that wouldn't be necessary. Like, I feel like I get what most toners give me by layer 7, I get in like 2 layers, which is awesome. So I'm getting ready for work right now. While Daft Punk plays softly in the background, and also Frequency. But today, thankfully, I'm going in a little bit earlier than I normally go in, so I get to get off a little bit earlier than I normally would. So that's perfect because I need to edit this and get it up. I need lip balm. I've been obsessed with this e.l.f. lip balm ever since I got it. Cause normally I wouldn't do a tinted lip balm for just my everyday around the house balm, but this has been a nice change, I'll say. And this is in a Yummy Gummy, and it smells really good. And it's just, I'm always I've been drawn to purple makeup all like for a while now. Like I like purple lips, I like purple blush, I like purple eyeliner, I like purple eyeshadow. So it makes sense that I would like a purple lip balm. It's more like berry, but you know. So I need to get dressed. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay. Well, I really should think about what day it is before I press record, but it's like you hit record and your mind goes blank. Day, oh fuck, 5? Yes. Wait, is it 6? Day 6. Day 6, update number 2. I was just thinking earlier about how I understand now more than ever how so many people struggle to find a good work-life balance, because it really is hard. It really is hard. Because I'm sitting here trying to think about, because somebody else, well, okay. My brain is a little mush right now because I'm kind of tired. I didn't really sleep that well last night, and I have to work the next 5 days in a row, which isn't, or at least I didn't know that I would have to be working the next 5 days in a row until only a couple days ago, because somebody at my job left, and so the schedule changed, and now I thought I was gonna have Monday off, and now I don't. So that kind of sucks, because, you know, rest time is important. It's really important. And also, there's so many things that I want to do, and so many things I'm trying to create, and I'm just trying to figure out how I actually make time to do that and also work. And now I started off at my job as part-time, but now they asked me if I wanted to go full-time. And I'm happy about that because they were already working me full-time hours. And so now at least I get full-time benefits. But I underestimated how much like time it actually takes. Even though obviously, like, I know full-time is like, you know, it's a 40-hour work week. That's like the standard. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out a work-life balance situation. And cause I need days off where I just do nothing and just like be by myself all day and just chill. But I also, of course, need days off where I do things and like hang out with my friends and stuff like that. But in those days are also relaxing and restorative, but in a much different way than just like doing nothing and like actually resting. Like, it's a different kind of rest, and it's a rest that I personally need a lot. So I'm just like, okay, Because every off day, I don't want every off day to be a day where I just do nothing. Even though I don't actually like do nothing, but I don't know. I'm really tired, and I need to edit this video, but I also wanted to do a secondary Saturday update. And I also, because I waited to edit, even though I could have been editing this whole week, I waited. I literally did not think of that I could do that until like yesterday. So, but next week I'm definitely editing as I go. So it's a much easier process by the time the end of the week comes and I'm like, bleh. So, you know, we're learning as we go. I don't have even a little bit all figured out. So, we're all in this together. I'm also really just trying to figure out if working where I'm working is really even a good idea anymore. Because that's the thing. I really I wanted to have a job so bad. And I'm glad I have a job. And I'm especially glad that I have the job that I have. Because it could be a lot worse. And I've had jobs that were worse. So I'm pretty, for what it is, I'm pleased with the situation. I don't have a lot of complaints about, it's one of those, it is what it is. I see it for what it is, and I accept it for what it is. But at the same time, I have it's not like my future. It's not my forever. It's not my home. It's just what I'm doing now. And while I'm building and developing my actual future, well, that's the thing. I still need time to actually build and develop all of my future things. So it's I'm okay, do I need to wake up earlier? But then how do I wake up earlier and also get enough sleep? And I haven't figured that out. I have no idea. Because even though I usually get off, the latest I would get off on most days is 9, but I don't get home until 11, and then by the time I'm showered and ready for bed, it's around 12 or even closer to 1, depending on how, because I don't get home at 11 on the dot. It's 11-ish, and maybe sometimes even closer to 11:30, because it just depends. So I put my headphones on, listen to my favorite song, soaking up the rain. I feel I want this clip to be something, but I also don't really have much to say. I can talk about that. Okay. So, this morning, or it wasn't really morning anymore, but, well, it was kind of morning. When I woke up this morning, because normally I have to be at work at 3. Either I have to be there at 3 or 9. And but today I had to be there at 1 because we were having, it doesn't matter. I had to be there at 1 today. And it kind of threw me off a little bit because normally I leave my house at 1, but today I had to be there at 1, so I had to leave even earlier. And I usually Uber to the MARTA station, and then my brain is so mush right now. I usually Uber to the MARTA station, and then I take MARTA to I take the I take MARTA to the closest station to my job, and then I walk from there. I walk from the MARTA to the job. Now I don't even remember why I was telling you that. Oh, right. This morning. Usually I do that. I Uber to MARTA, and then I walk from MARTA to the place. And then when I get home, I Uber home from MARTA. So that wasn't relevant to what I'm about to tell you, but I guess there you go. Today, I woke up, I was pretty tired, and I guess I underestimated how much time I would need to get ready because I was running a little bit, I like to leave 2 hours before I have to be there to make sure that I'm there early. So I was like, okay, I have to be there at 1, so I need to leave at 11. And I wasn't ready by 11. But I do this thing where even though I'm not completely ready, I call the Uber anyway just to force myself to like get out, even though it's not really good. Like it stresses me out, but it gets me out of the house, and that's important. And it's not a habit I really want to maintain, but it kind of works. It's kind of work. I don't know. I'm tired. I don't know. But this is the last clip of the whole thing, so I feel like I need to end it on a note. And maybe I should just post on Fridays and include the Saturday in the next video. Well, yeah, I don't think it really matters. I'm just thinking out loud right now. People falling. Okay. I'd say my main reframe of the day was when, that's why I was talking about all that stuff earlier, and I don't think I never got to the point of that, because it actually feels like my brain is like slower right now. But okay. I was worried, so this morning I was worried that I was gonna be late. And normally I Uber to the MARTA, and then I take that, and then I walk after I get off. But once I got to the MARTA station and I saw how long it was going to take for the train that I needed to come, then I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to be late if I wait this long. So I just Ubered straight to work from the MARTA station, and that was like kind of annoying. I was like, oh, I could have just Ubered straight there and I would have saved a little bit of money, but now I gotta and so that was a little bit annoying. But I was like, okay, I did literally ask my subconscious mind a couple days ago, if not yesterday, either yesterday or the day before, because I was reading The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I literally asked it to make me like abundantly aware of any of my blocks that are keeping me in, like any of my like old identity blocks, like what's keeping me, or just my biggest blocks in general. Like I asked it to make them very glaringly clear to me, and I feel like that was what I learned today, or that was the point of today, because it made me more like a big thing of last year was me working through like my money blocks. And so I think this is helping me get to the point where I don't worry about money anymore. because I realized that worrying about it doesn't make it come to you faster. Worrying about it doesn't do anything. It just makes you feel anxious. And I just don't want to like keep feeding those feelings when they're not helpful. They're just not helpful, and I'm just tired of being in that energy of worrying about money. I'm tired. I know we all are. So one thing that I like took note of after in helping me reframe it is that instead of, because like when I start getting in those worries about like, oh, how am I gonna pay for this, like how am I gonna maneuver, how am I gonna get through this week, I feel my thoughts ramping up, and like I am at the point where I'm able to kind of just watch them, but also sometimes still like that feeling is in my body. Like I'm always able to take myself out of it, and even when I'm worrying, I'm always able to step back and be like, and remind myself, hey, you're the source, you're infinite abundance, like you, okay? Like it doesn't come from out there, it comes from in here. And I remind myself of those things, but me thinking those things doesn't make the actual feeling of that like anxiousness go away in my body. So, and one thing that I've heard before, but I haven't really actually done a good job of practicing, is that like when you get caught in like a loop, or when you're in like negativity or whatever, to get out of your mind and like as much as you can, and like tune into your body and actually find where the feeling is home, where the feeling is like housed in your body, and just like focusing on that and focusing on the physical sensation of it rather than the thoughts around it. And in doing that, and so I'm like, oh, I remembered like, oh yeah, that's a good way. That'd be a good way for me to, when I have those moments where I start to feel anxious and worried about money, like it was good to remember like, oh, I can just tune into my body and let the feeling feel itself out, and then I can let it go. Because really, it's just like trying to keep me safe at the end of the day. So that's nothing for me to like, I'm not mad at it. I recognize it for what it is. So that was nice to feel like I have to, one, become clear and present with that particular block of mine, and two, to like have a protocol for what to do when it happens again. So yeah, that was week 1 of Thinking in My Favor challenge. It has been, I've really enjoyed starting this journey. Oh, okay. I thought I was about to knock over my heater, but it wasn't my heater. I've really enjoyed embarking on this journey, and I am proud of myself for just like keeping up with this. And yeah, hopefully I was gonna say, hopefully you want to try. Hopefully, I don't know. I was gonna say, hopefully you want to try this challenge, but then all of the steam left me like before I even got the first word out. So there's that. But now, okay, I'm gonna go edit this video now. See you next week.